I was away on holiday and just had loads and loads of seafood. So we were right on the coast in Florida.
Lovely.
And I've just really inspired. And I went to a restaurant which had a Cajun influence. Had a big steam pot full of crayfish, prawns, shrimps. You know, it was just absolutely amazing. So this inspired me to cook this dish. So I'm cooking you a smoky shrimp jambalaya.
Yum.
OK, so this is almost like a variation of a paella.
Oh,
OK,
right.
so it's a rice-based dish. Really dead simple because it's all done in one pot.
Happy days.
OK, now, the first ingredient I'm going to work with is some chorizo. Now, I've just diced this up. Now, traditionally, they would use andouille sausage, but we're probably going to struggle to get that over here. But what that does, it just lends a really amazing smoky flavour. And you'll see in 2 seconds, the oil will start to release from this and it will flavour the rest of the dish.
Lovely.
So while that ticks away, I'm going to show you the rest of my ingredients. So in Cajun food, they work with what they call a trinity. A little bit like I've spoken about a mirepoix before, which is carrot, onion, celery. So over there, the trinity is onion, peppers and celery.
Right,
OK, it's really important. I'm also adding some carrot to this as well.
Right.
OK, because
would they do that necessarily? Or
no,
they
they wouldn't. This is just kind of my little kind of twist on it. So I'm just going to chop up a little bit more pepper. Now, a great way of prepping a pepper, I like to take the top off. Now, you see these little kind of gaps there? If you cut down through those, what you're left with is all the nice bits of pepper, and that's a bit that you don't want, so that will go straight in the bin.
Good stuff.
So just literally take your knife, and we want a nice kind of dice on there.
Yeah.
So it's all about a little bit of prep work, but once you get cooking, it's really dead simple. OK, so what I'm going to do, just start to get that into my pan with the chorizo. Let's say I've got my celery.
Lovely.
Carrot goes in.
Oh, look at those colours.
Do you know what? This is just like full of flavour. And what the Trinity does is just add an amazing background flavour. And like I say, we've got the colour in there as well. We've also got a couple of cloves of garlic.
Sure.
Right, that goes in. Now, in an ideal world, Lorraine, I'm going to give that around 6-7 minutes just to start softening down. But you'll see this will start to turn really nice and kind of red because that paprika. But to accentuate those flavours from the paprika, we've also got some spices. So I've got some smoked paprika and I've got some cumin.
OK.
So about a teaspoon of each goes in, along with a couple of bay leaves, and just give those a little bit of a crease up there. And you just start to release the oils again. So give that a little bit of a stir. OK, this is so simple, this dish, but the flavours in it are absolutely unreal. As an optional extra, we've got a glass of wine. It's going to add a little bit of acidity. Right, so we want to reduce that by around half. So we want to kind of reduce it down, cook out the alcohol. Like I say, it's totally optional, but, you know, it's nice if you've got any left over. Enjoy a glass of this. Right, so next stage. We've got our liquids that we're going to cook with. I've got some tomato passata, which is just sieved tomatoes. They're really cheap, about half the price of tin tomatoes as well. OK, so they're perfect for this. Now, the reason they use tomatoes in this this particular dish is because they couldn't get hold of saffron, which add that kind of colour. So they use tomatoes, but this has become, like, you know, a staple.
Really expensive, isn't it? So,
yeah, exactly. So it's a staple of this dish. And we've also got some chicken stock, which goes in. Now, you want to bring that up to a little bit of a simmer. OK, give that a stir. Just making sure that everything's nice and combined, along with a nice pinch of salt. OK, so that goes in.
Lovely.
And then we add our rice. Now, what I'm using here is brown rice. OK, I like this because if you're cooking rice for any kind of certain amount of time, over longer periods, it can go really mushy. Now, the brown rice has the husk on it, so it kind of stays really nice and separate, OK?
It's quite nutty.
Yeah, like exactly. And we've got the fibre in there as well, so nutritionally it's much better.
Good for you.
So that goes in. OK, give it a really good stir, just to make sure all the ingredients are combined. Bring up to a simmer. Then what we do, pop the lid on. OK, this is how it should look.
Great.
Now, 5 minutes before the end of the cooking time, I'm going to add my prawns in. Now, in America, they call them shrimp. It's pretty much the same thing, but I like to use these. These are frozen shrimp. You can thaw them out. You can get them fresh. I also keep some of these nice big ones because that's going to add a nice little garnish. But they're so easy to do and prepare. You know, if you get them in the supermarket like this, you just literally take that off. That is pretty much done. And they take literally 3 to 4 minutes to cook through.
You don't want to overdo them, do you?
What you do, just before I come back to you, Lorraine, I'm going to pop those in. They'll be nice and pink. Serve it with a little bit of fresh parsley, some spring onion.
Gorgeous.
Perfect.